Over to you for questions.
Yes. So, like, as you said, like, to wait for some time. The thing is that I'm actually like 5 to 6 years into my career, right? And I don't want to like wait a lot now to grab a master's, because I think then it won't be a very economically wise decision for me, because then opportunity cost would be really high for me
Okay.
if I go abroad. So, like, even I was planning to wait till the fall of 2024, because in the fall semester has more intake and all that thing. But
Okay.
I kind of expired it to spring only. So I'm kind of banking on the thing that maybe the things will get better by the
Okay.
end of 2025
Okay.
when I'm graduating. But yeah, like as you said, like no one knows how the economy will turn out, right? So
Pujal, what's your goal? What sort of jobs are you targeting once you finish your master's in the US? Are you targeting more like product manager jobs? Are you targeting
no,
like architect jobs? Like, what's your interest?
So, yeah, sir, right now I am in software engineering, the backend field, right? But
Okay.
I want to gain skills in the ML and the data science side as well. I
Okay.
think that that's where a master's will help me, right?
Okay.
And I think after the master's, like since I already have an experience in backend engineering, I'll be definitely open to those roles, like some senior roles in that. Like I'm not sure that how US perceives a like person with Indian work experience, right? Will I be able to get like senior roles? Because I want to leverage my experience in India, right, to
Yes.
get better roles. And yeah, I'll be also looking forward to some, let's say, some ML research roles, those kind
Okay.
of roles. So that's my primary target right now. That these kind of jobs I want to target once I
Do you have a
graduate.
location in mind?
So I want to like when I graduate, I want to work either on the East Coast or on the West Coast, or like some emerging cities like Austin, as you said, right?
Yeah.
Like some of these cities, like some big cities, because yeah, like you're starting your career, you want to start living in a big city. Maybe yeah, like
Right.
once you're bored of it, then you can live in some suburbs and some other cities. So yeah.
Okay. So, okay. I mean, that's also a good perspective, right? So there is like equally good perspectives on all ends. Like, I think a person like you can also be a great fit for an MBA program. That's the reason why I was asking those questions. In fact, there are a lot of STEM MBA programs. If you've not heard of it, that's definitely an option worth trying for. But let me put it this way. So business jobs are very selective in nature. And I feel that there are a lot more CS jobs in the US than there are MBA jobs in the US. And it also depends on your skill set in terms of, are you more of like in looking into the future, do you want to focus less on tech and move more into the business side and the people side of the world? Then maybe an MBA is definitely going to help you. But if you make up your mind that no, I don't want to go to the people side of the world, I want to stick to my core competence, which is the technical side, then maybe yes, an MS program will definitely help you. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. I also feel that you will have to do a little bit of justification because you're not coming from a undergrad in computer science, right? So it's a little bit of like that MS degree will help you. Like, so right now is your work experience helping you find other jobs. But
Yeah.
once you get a master's degree, right, then you have something to back you up.
Yeah.
After that, life is much easier for you because then you can use that to say, I have something like a degree to back me up. Then you would be considered for jobs in almost any company.
Yeah.
By the FANG company, they're always a little reluctant to take people from non-CS backgrounds. If you're not aware of it. In fact, the rotational product manager program in Google and Facebook, right, they wouldn't touch non-CS students for a long, long time. They changed it right now, but that's how it was for quite some time. They always feel that CS students probably know best. So that's the way they approached it. So I think it's a good idea. Like if you really want to go to US, let's look at again the pros and cons of that approach. So the advantage is going to be that the market can definitely recover by 2025. Absolutely. That's one point which is going to work in your favor. There are lots and lots of jobs in computer science, SPD, AI, ML, computer science. Like there's just huge need. And if that AI bill also passes, I think it just open up a completely new set of doors, right? So I think that's definitely fantastic. That's the other piece of it. The third advantage I would also recommend is that once you go to a college, there are actually a lot of chances for CS students to find some sort of RA or TA.
Yeah.
Very easy to get. Like all you need to do is you have to probably sponsor your first semester, or worst case, maybe a second semester, right? So just save enough for one semester of tuition or maybe 2 semesters of tuition, but there's a very high chance that you will get something by the end of your first semester. Like most Indians get something. I would say 30% of Indians get something by the end of the first semester. Another 30% get something by the end of the second semester. So by the end of 2 semesters, I would think 60 to 70% of students end up with something on the hand, like a full scholarship in terms of it will pay for your tuition and also pay for your living expenses, stipend for your living expenses.
Yeah.
So I gave that feedback to my mentee at Purdue. He was like a little bit of like, should I go to Purdue, not go to Purdue? I said, go to Purdue, you will get something. He went to Purdue and looks like this person did end up getting a RA. This is like last week. And from next semester, he's going to be covered. So yes, I think it's a great option for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, likewise, whichever university you go to, right, they're always like, the funny thing, right, is that you can even go to a biosciences school and they're also looking for people to help them out. Students help them out with computer science, like coding and all that work, right? And if you have work experience, like in your case, Ujjwal, you have fantastic work experience. And don't worry, the companies are so good, they're top notch that they don't care, right? They just want someone who understands that space. And I think you have that. So I think it'll be very easy for you to find both RAs or TAs and get some sort of scholarship when you apply to colleges.
Yeah. So also would like to know some of your like thoughts on like right now I'm waiting for some of my decisions.
Yeah.
But I think the best decision I have so far is from Rutgers. So how, like, since you have worked in the HR sector, how a graduate from, let's say, Rutgers University, holding a MSCS degree, is perceived by recruiters, or similarly, those kind of schools, like which are not the top tier schools like MIT or Stanford or CMU. So
Ujjwal, a couple of things, like I know, like actually one good friend of mine, he's right now, he was a schoolmate of mine, sort of like he's right now a professor at Carnegie Mellon. And he actually worked in Rutgers before he went to Carnegie Mellon. So Rutgers is an absolutely fantastic place. Like you get people a second, like nobody else, right? The best of faculty, best of research facilities. The good thing about Rutgers is that it's in New Jersey. So it's very close to New York. So it's just a hop away, right? You just take their train and you end up like most people in Manhattan also live in New Jersey. Yeah. It's too expensive. Manhattan is so expensive. They live in New Jersey and you hop on a train and within like 10 minutes, you'll reach from New Jersey to New York. So it's pretty easy. And I think that's a big advantage of being near a big city like New York. Okay, that's like definitely there, especially if you want to work in fintech. There couldn't be a better place for you. Like, I would really recommend Rutgers over, say, Columbia or NYU, because I feel that Rutgers is a little bit more cheaper and it's more realistic. You get some like solid people who are not high on ego but high on hard work.
Yeah,
you want to have that attitude when you develop your life, right? You don't want to say that like, all right, I am from Harvard. Nobody cares in the workplace where you came from. What value can you add in the workplace? That's the most important thing. Right. Like a person like Satya Nadella is from like University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee for his master's in CS. Yeah. Milwaukee is not like, it's not a great place to like study in, but you know what? I mean, he's awesome, man. That's what matters at the end of the day. So I think being level-headed really matters. So I think Rutgers is definitely a very good school. My only, the only catch in my perspective about Rutgers is that you're probably gonna meet a bunch of people who are, most of them are freshers. I would not expect a person with work experience to be applying to Rutgers and get in. So I just feel that sometimes when you are in a group where everybody around you are freshers, they're trying to find a job, then how do you differentiate yourself in the group? So it's like you get pegged with that group and you are an like outlier, right? So how do you differentiate yourself? That's gonna lie on you. So you have to do a lot of hard work yourselves. And if you go to career services, ask for help, right? Their work is to serve the majority. Like 90 to 95% of people are going to be like freshers or people with 1 year of work experience. All good students, no doubt, but still people who are low on work experience. But they will not help you with actually going for the more senior roles which you are looking for. So you will have to do some of the reach out yourself. So that will actually fall on you. The burden of searching for jobs may fall on you. Compared to more of a school, like a more well-known school in a big city, I think that will probably tend to attract people with work experience. So it's a little easier for you in that scenario. But again, it doesn't matter. These things are not very consequential. If you're willing to just fight a little harder, then yeah, it does make a lot of sense.
Yes. Yeah. So I also like had one question, like as you said, like MBA or something like a MSBA degree, which is very trending these days. It's a STEM degree. Uh, do you think so? It's worth to like get an MSBA degree from a,
No.
let's say,
Don't do that. Don't waste your time. So, okay. So this is also feedback I was giving to other people, right? If you want to do something in business, right, go for an MBA.
Yeah.
It's a gold standard. All this is the problem with MS in business analytics and all that, right? It's neither an MBA nor an MS degree. And most companies also confuse what sort of degree do you have? Where can we slot you? So they'll not pay you like an MBA graduate. They'll pay you much lesser than an MBA graduate, maybe on par with a master's graduate. So you think that you are as good as an MBA, but companies don't think that way. They want to see an MBA.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people who do an MBA for the sake of just getting the stamp on their resume. Like, for example, they may actually spend 10, 15 years of working, go do an executive MBA from Kellogg, Wharton, bunch of places where you can do an executive MBA, right? Very common. Yeah. And the reason they do it is expensive, very, very expensive, $200,000, $250,000, but they do it because they want the stamp on the resume. MBA helps you get into senior management.
Yeah. I think
the problem with business, sorry?
Satya Nadella also did the same, right? He, after doing his master's, he did from Chicago Booth.
Yeah.
But an executive MBA.
Exactly. The second thing also is that if you do a master's in data analytics, right, can be a bit helpful. Like actually, like the most safe job if you want to get into coding data analytics is computer science. Let's be frank. Because computer science means that you understand in and out of computer science. It's not just about coding, but you also know about the data structures and algorithms. You know a little bit of the systems design, right? And you read everything, networking theory to everything, right? So you're not just a domain specialist, not just a good coder, but you understand the holistic picture of how computer science works. And that can be important in certain jobs. You never know when those skills will come in handy. When some of the material you read 10 years back is going to help you, right? So most people do favor absolutely a computer science degree.
Yeah.
Data analytics can help people with maybe getting an entry-level job in data analytics. Absolutely. But the problem with business analytics is that now anybody recruiting, like I was been in the recruiting space for around 15 years. Okay. The challenge before me is this person a data analytics person or is he solving business problems? So like, should I hire a MS in data analytics or do I hire an MBA? That's the way I look at the world. I will not say that the answer is to take a compromise and hire someone with a MS in business analytics. It's neither here nor there. I think I would say a distant sibling of that MBA degree, the MS in business analytics. It's just not worth it. I mean, you're going to spend a lot of money. If you're getting it for free, do it. Okay. Like I always advise that any degree you get for free, go forward, get the degree done. It's definitely worth it studying in the US. But then you're going to pay money from your pocket, do some standard programs. I think that helps. MSCS, MBA, these are gold standard programs.
Yeah. Sir, I think I covered all my questions and probably you just answered them by yourself, some of the questions. So, that's all was there on my mind.
Good, Ujjwal. Yeah, man. So again, I know you're probably waiting for a couple of admits. I would say that wait it out. Just let's have a call separately, right? Once you get your admits, definitely love to look at the options with you. That's really good. Second thing is that reach out to the students center in advance. Try to get some data from them. Like for example, where are the placements in? Try to get some data about placements. How I have work experience. Will I get a better job? Try to line up a conversation and ask your questions. It's perfectly okay to ask questions. Like just because you're going there, right, doesn't mean that you just only talk to seniors or those folks. But it's okay to reach out to the student's office, have conversations, ask them all the tough questions, because that is what's going to help you determine is this for you.
Yeah.
Reach out to professors if you want to work with a professor, right? Like if you find that maybe they're doing some very good research, if you want to work with them, begin reaching out right away. If you want to get admit, it's okay to begin to do some reach outs. Yeah, over to you.
So as was in US generally the career fairs or the student career services, from what I have heard from my the batchmates who have pursued their MS, is that helpful or it's more on the student owners that they need to reach out to recruiters on LinkedIn? What is your take on that? Because from what I have heard, speaking to couple of friends of mine or some people who have even graduated from, let's say, MSCS programs, the career services didn't offer much value to them. And all they had to do was, let's say, LinkedIn at the end of the day, or maybe some other job platforms. So, anyway.
Ujjwal, a couple of pointers, right? Again, there are a lot of things you have to do. First thing first is the way campus recruiting works in India is different from the way campus recruiting works in the US. Okay. So what I mean to say this is in India, right, you have companies coming to campus and they have a quota for, I want to fill up all these spots with students from this IIT or this NIT and so on, right? That's the way the Indian model works. It's not the way the US model works. All you will get in the US is you will get some representative from the company to come over. Could be an alum who comes and talks about the company. They maybe going to collect the resumes and that's it. It's going to stop there. They don't have a quota for each university. What they're going to do is that they will actually put up a job posting on their careers website. They will expect every single person across the US to apply for those jobs.
Yes.
And then they will look at the totality of everybody who's applied for the jobs and then shortlist maybe the top, maybe 20 to call for interviews. So in India, how the way it works is, I'm from IIT Bombay, so let's pick up that example. So IIT Bombay, they come in, General Mills comes in, says that I want to recruit 3 people from IIT Bombay. They're going to talk to everyone, roll out 3 offers at IIT Bombay before they leave the campus, right? That's typically the way it works. US, there's no rolling out offers and all that, right? They'll just come and meet you and say hi, that's it. So it's a little bit of like getting to know you. They may actually collect your resume and make a note on it, right? Okay, I talked to this person, something they found interesting in you. So that can also be helpful just to create a favorable impression. They'll keep the resumes with them. Wait for you to apply on the careers website where there are probably hundreds of applicants. And then they're going to go back to the shortlist and look back at the notes of saying, okay, is there somebody who impressed me, right, compared to everyone else? They're going to shortlist the top 20 across all colleges. And then call them over for something called interview day on, there's something called it's going to be a big day of like 6 to 7 interviews. Okay. They'll call you to headquarters for interview day. And you are going to compete with 15 to 20 students for those jobs. And everybody goes through like rounds of interviews, right? So it's like you meet one person, then move on to the next person. So it's pretty stressful, like 4 or 5 hours of interviewing. You're done with interviews, and then after a week, they'll get back to you saying, okay, you get an offer, you don't get an offer. So that's really the way campus recruiting works in the US. So if somebody goes to US thinking that one company is going to come and give you an offer in campus, no. There's nothing called campus recruiting in US that way. In terms of like, you'll get them to you'll find a contact. That's it. But end of the day, right, you are compared to everyone else. There's no special quota for an MIT student or a Stanford student.
Got it. Yeah, that helps.
So the second piece is that I think there are a couple of videos I've done on LinkedIn networking and about optimizing a resume. So the Student Services Center will predominantly help you with writing a good resume. They will do some mock interviews. Those are things that will definitely help you out. But these are things you can do right away. You can reach out to people working in industry, and you can also show your resume. You can get feedback. So you don't need to wait till you enter college to do these things. You can also get resume feedback. That's also definitely possible from people already working in industry, right? That's something you can do. Build your network, go on LinkedIn, reach out to people. This doesn't again need to wait till you go to US. You can happen anytime. So do that. And also there are a couple of websites. I don't know if you're tracking these websites. There's something called Team Blind. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I follow it.
Please read Team Blind daily. Okay. That's like very good data about who's hiring, who's not hiring, who's laying off. Incredible data points. There's also a website called levels.fyi.
Yeah. I know about it. Because I have my colleagues since I'm working in Walmart, I have a lot of colleagues working in California. So they keep me updating about all these things. Because I think Blind can also be used for referrals, because people just post that I need a referral for this company. And generally, I find that people are willing to help. Let's say 10 people read your post, at least one will be willing to help you with the referral. So, yeah,
man, good. So you know how that works. I would say that daily, like if you go to US, right, do 2 things. Go to Team Blind daily morning, like opening a newspaper, go through what's happening, right? Just make it a habit. This is also one more very good habit I always recommend to everybody, is that try to go through the Wall Street Journal every day. If not Wall Street Journal in India, right, at least go to the Economic Times in daily basis. Just read something in that. Spend like 20 minutes going to Economic Times. You'll gain so much understanding of how companies work, how the economy works. And actually, that will make, when you give answers, right, you will actually give very high level answers. Most people stick to a very low level answers when talking about jobs. Sometimes if you get connected to the big picture, that's a skill very few have. So it will make you look very, very impressive to a recruiter. But the problem is you can't develop this skill in 1 week or 1 month. You have to spend like years working on this. So that's something also recommend.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Yeah.
Good, Ujjwal. So great talking to you. Folks, if you have questions, let me know in the comments below.